Hello again, YouTube. I'm back with Roller Coaster Tycoon World. This was the beta. The beta is now actually over at the time that I upload this, but I've got some captured footage here that I will post-commentate over because I did want to show you guys. On this channel, I had actually live streamed the beta, and it did not go so well for me. There was a bug with the camera. It's all good. It's all fixed. But I was trying to create roller coasters named after some of you, the subscribers that were there, and so we've got the Morton coaster from Mark Morton. So that's why there is an MM. You can see they're sort of at the, well, if you look at it north, south, east, and west, it's basically at the north of the coaster. There is an MM. And so I've also got the coaster view, you know, the coaster cam, because basically for all of these I have ridden them. So these are the more, maybe slightly improved, but I did not actually get a lot of time to play the beta outside of that live stream, and obviously, as I just mentioned, the live stream had a terrible camera bug. I basically couldn't do anything, so it was quite unfortunate, but the camera thing's all fixed up. It kind of just fixed itself. It's good. And how great is that? Because we have these coasters finally designed and finished up. Now, I would have loved to do, you know, plenty more subscribers, but again, I didn't have that much time. So, like, after the beta was done, after the live stream, you know, I had a little bit of time to kind of polish up the coasters that were existing from that live stream, this was one of them. You know, we made the Morton coaster, and I painted it all gray because he is the koala keeper. Mark Morton has a koala as his profile picture or whatever, and so this is pretty awesome. I just did gray beams and gray everything except for the supporting beams, I guess, are black. So anyway, moving on, we've got the Ganon coaster, and this is for Edward Choi because he loves Ganondorf, and so I decided to call it the Ganon coaster. He asked for a certain palette of colors. I can't remember everybody's palette of colors that they asked for after the stream, so hopefully I'm getting close, but I think he wanted gold in there. I did a little bit orangish gold and then black, and I believe each of these coasters is a different style, you know, like there's wooden coasters, and I think this is actually a wooden coaster, but then there's like the hyper coaster, there's a wing coaster, which we'll see later on, and some other ones, accelerator coasters, all that good stuff. But the beta was fun when the camera worked correctly, so I do want to say, you know, I absolutely must apologize not only to the viewers, but especially to Atari and, you know, the makers of Roller Coaster Tycoon, basically, to make this possible, because I know that in my frustration with the camera, and it was just an overall bad week for me, I said some things, you know, I said just basically things, I guess, if I'm saying it nicely, I did not enjoy the beta, but the latter half of the beta, when everything was fixed up, I was good. So I definitely retract those statements. I do apologize about them. I'm human. I get pissed off sometimes. But it's all good now because I've got y'all's coasters. We have the Ganon coaster right here. It's almost done. I put down a little bit of decorative stuff. You know, as I kept playing through the beta, I did find out more and more how to use the coaster editor, which was the main feature of the beta, obviously, but then also what sort of decorative things we had at our disposal. And again, you may notice some of these. I actually did not mention this yet, so I shouldn't say again, but you may notice that the nighttime falls in this beta, but then it goes really fast into daytime. The makers basically decided that, you know, obviously this will not be a thing that happens in the final game, but they did that for the beta because the beta is all about the roller coaster creation, and so they said the coaster thing doesn't show off as well when you're trying to create at night, and so that's why they did it. Now we've got the Brooks Boaster. This is for Reese Brooks, another longtime subscriber. Again, I would have loved to do more because I have tons of longtime subscribers I could think about making roller coasters for. And so maybe, you know, if we do play another beta for this and everything, and maybe just if I play this game, I guess when it comes out, I will make that a regular series, or like semi-regular, maybe like once a month we'll do like a Roller Coaster Tycoon thing, and I make rides and parks after you guys, my subscribers. That's actually why this park here in the beta was called Kendopolis. It was just, you know, gonna be all about my community, which I call Kendopolis. So let's check out the Brooks Boaster via the coaster cam here. So this is going to be pretty sweet, and it basically does have a BB like how Mark Morton's had an MM on it, but the BB is actually, no, not Balloon Boy, it's not a part of the coaster, it's part of the decoration. So you can actually see those rocks up there that say BB. We'll get a better look at them in a little bit, but those rocks are actually in their name under the decorations. It says something like Rock B. It's like Stone B or Rock B or something like that. It was letter B, basically. Maybe it was B-shaped rock. I can't remember, but it had B at the end, so that was why I did it. I actually put all those kind of sandstone rocks in there as well with the B. I focused on the B one as well. But anyway, here we go. The Brooks Boaster, the big thing about it is not necessarily that there's a big drop or anything. There is kind of a drop in these loops and stuff, but What's awesome is this part coming up right here, probably more so via the coaster cam. It's harder to tell, but looking at it, from afar, we can tell that it goes a lot faster at the end there, and that's because I did major boostage. Put some boosters down right there at the end so that it would go very fast just at the end part. So here's the last coaster. It's the Robloxian Wing, and this is for Robloxian Horse Productions. He was the one that did ask during the live stream, if he could have a coaster, and it was, I think, the one that I kind of got too frustrated and stopped the stream for. You can see that there are some coasters on the ground, some pieces of the cart or the train on the ground. That's because this did crash, actually. I did make this a loop. You can see that it does have like a shuttle loop, where they go upside down in it, and basically what was happening was, unfortunately, the train was hitting the other side of the loop. So, it's like you go up the right side and then down the left side, or maybe it's vice versa. But essentially, it was just ending very badly because the coaster's train would hit the side of the actual coaster itself. And so it looks like you go up the left side, down the right. That's what I meant. And so here we go. We're going to watch it via coaster cam as well as far, I guess, zoomed out view. But the cool thing about this one is, I called it the Robloxian Wing because it's a wing coaster, but it has an eagle train. So the actual roller coaster train car thing is an eagle. And I did want to mention also that the coaster cam, this beta was very intensive. It was resource intensive, I guess I should say. And so there was a bit of a frame rate issue or drop, I guess, and I don't know if that'll be present in the full version. It may be dependent on my machine, although I've got a pretty powerful PC. It is like 4 years old now, though, and in PC gaming terms, I guess that's kind of old, at least in my experiences. But that's why you might see in the coaster cam up there in the top right now, there are a little bit of, I guess, skippings and frame issues, just dropped frames and stuff. It's not moving as smoothly as we all wish it would, of course. And the other thing, just last thing to point out maybe, is that sometimes you'll see that the coaster cam was daylight and then it was nighttime on the zoomed out full version. That's just because obviously I recorded them at 2 different times, so the coaster cam was captured completely separate from the zoomed out full version captured footage. But yes, I hope that you guys enjoyed this, seeing your coasters in action, and again, I would love to do this more as more betas come out or the full game comes out, if that is something that maybe has demand. So you guys maybe sound off in the comments if you would want to see it when the game comes out. I love Roller Coaster Tycoon. In the past, I've played 1, 2, and 3, and I've loved them all. And so, again, I do apologize about my comments during the beta. I don't believe I said anything bad to the subscribers. I just was getting a major headache trying to figure out the camera thing, and it was insane. I mean, I could not even sit still for 1 second without the camera moving. So with that headache, I said that the beta for Roller Coaster Tycoon World was bad. I do not think that in all actuality. Now that I can play the game regularly, it's great. So right now, the beta, it got about, probably for me, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 maybe. I think that that's a good marker for it. Maybe a 6.5 out of 10, but that's just because, again, it was focusing more on the coaster building, and I don't really prefer to build my own coasters. I prefer to use the game's designs and things. But who knows? Maybe if I had more time, I would get a lot better at it and enjoy it more. So I will catch you on the next vid, and thanks for viewing.